It may seem daunting, but Angie Boyd shows us how simple it is to make and use your own fondant so that your cake is not only tasty, but beautiful too.
Rolled fondant icing became popular in the 1970s and is a staple of modern cake decorators. Chef Angie Boyd has a simple technique for beautiful fondant on a cake.
Now that you've got a nice clean surface, we start with step one. What you need to do is take your fondant, unwrap it. The important thing is to keep your fondant covered at all times, otherwise it dries out and forms a crust. And the first step that we're going to do is to knead the fondant, and this makes it lovely and pliable and stretchy and elastic. It makes it much easier to roll out. Right, so now you've got a lovely kneaded piece of fondant, we're going to cover the cake with a bit of water. It ensures a nice surface to stick onto. Don't let it get too wet, you just want it slightly damp. Right, so when you're rolling out, a couple of little tips that I've found handy over the years is to take a little cloth filled with cornstarch and you puff that all over your fondant as well as your surface, and everything stays dry and it doesn't stick. And when you're rolling, I like to use a nice heavy marble rolling pin because I find that you have fewer marks and creases and cracks in it. And you need to be very firm while you're rolling out, so you're going to roll forwards and backwards. So ensure you've rolled it out into a nice even surface so that it fits perfectly onto your cake. Oh, sometimes what you'll notice is that there are little air bubbles inside. So what you do is you just take an ordinary pin and you just prick the little air bubble and then smooth it out, and that'll give you a lovely smooth surface again. Right, so this is the fun part. What we're going to do is get your arms right underneath that fondant, lift it up in one fell swoop, get it over your cake, and then you need to press down immediately so that you don't have any bubbles. It's got to stick to the cake, otherwise you're going to have problems, it's going to tear or it's going to crack. Remove the excess, put it to one side, cover it if you need to in case you want to use it again. And now we can take our smoothers. And you smooth it over, put a little extra cornstarch on it so that it doesn't stick, and you rub it around, make sure that you're really happy with the finish that you get. Nice, clean, crisp edges are what we're after. Now that you know how to beautifully cover your cake with fondant, you might want to give cake making a spin.
When cleaning, wipe up excess cornstarch with a damp cloth and then use Handy Andy Ultra Hygiene, which kills 99.9% of germs.
Brighten up your home with Handy Andy. Handy Andy, always a beautiful ending.